This is the Nikon ZR. This is a collaborative effort between Nikon and Red. Well, Nikon have acquired Red, so they're one and the same company now, but Red, who are traditionally known for making fantastic quality cinema cameras like the Red Raptor, Komodo, Dragon, all of these fancy names from Red cameras that you get, have come together with Nikon and made this guy. This is the Nikon ZR. This is a camera that I've been very, very excited about because it's the first camera of its type to exist. It is the first camera outside of the Red's traditional line of cameras that features Red RAW or R3D RAW, and it comes into the same price bracket as cameras like the Sony ZV-1 and A7C II, and basically it's super cheap for what it offers, and I will get to that in a minute. But I'm very, very excited to unbox this guy because after playing around with my friends Red Komodo X and filming a spec ad with that camera, I basically fell in love with Red color science, and the opportunity now to be able to create with something that essentially mimics that level of quality. I didn't want to pass that up, so I picked this up and I have got it with this 24-70 kit. So it comes with the 24-70 f4 kit lens from Nikon, and that's because this was the soonest available model that I could get. There are obviously body only versions that you can get for this, but I got the one with the kit lens because this was going to come faster than one with the body only. So we're just going to open this up, and first thing you're greeted with here is, of course, you've got a massive amount of paperwork and warranty and stuff like that, which I'm never ever going to read, but I'm going to put that over there. Just open that up. We've got probably a slightly different look to what most people are unboxing, which is just the ZR only, but here we have a cleaning glove. Looks like a Nikon cleaning cloth. I'm going to open this because I love cleaning cloths, and oh, that's ripped. I don't like ripping packaging like that, but yes, it is. Oh, it's a massive cleaning cloth. It's not just a I think it's a lens carry and cleaning cloth, something like that. It's like a little pouch in here, so maybe you can put the camera in here as well if I want to. Anyway, it's a little bit of I think it's a lens pouch cleaning cloth combo kind of thing. Put that down here. Start from top and then go down that way. So in here we have lens hood. That's obviously for the 24-70 lens. Never ever going to use that. That's going to stay in the box. Cable. So it does come with a USB-C cable. That's nice to see because these don't come with the charger anymore. Then on this side we've got the battery. I'll do that later. And here we also have the strap, which again I'm never ever going to use. And then in the middle here we have the lens. My first ever Nikon camera with my first ever Nikon lens. Nikon. I'm going to call it Nikon. That's easier for me. This is a 24-70 f4 Nikon RS lens, which is basically Nikon's kit lens, but it's a pretty good kit lens. 24-70, a very nice focal length, obviously very popular focal length. This is an external zoom kit lens, and it kind of locks in here by the looks of it, which is really, really nice. Honestly, I don't know how often I will use this, but it is nice to have a native lens for the camera. I have purchased a Viltrox adapter for the time being to use and mount my Sony lenses onto this, but there is a Megadap adapter on its way as well, because apparently I've heard they're better. So I will compare the two. I'm going to put this on the side. I will compare the two and see which one works better, and then I'll just return the one that I don't like. But yes, we've got the battery here, which comes with a nice little lid. That's cool. I will probably charge up this guy before trying to turn this on in a minute. And then finally we have the camera. Oh, this has got weight to it. This is heavier than my ZV-1 was. This has got some nice weight to it. I kind of like this. Oof. Look at that. This is a very, very nice looking wow. It's small. It is, I mean, this is almost the same size as what my ZV-1 was, and pretty much a similar size it looks like to what my A7C II is. Maybe it's a slight bit bigger. I like the hot shoe cover, it's rubber. I probably will keep this on for a little while. I just hope that I don't end up losing it, but it does look really nice. It's got the Nikon branding here at the back. I don't know if you guys can tell from this top-down shot, but it's got the Nikon red logo here. So it's got that red branding on there. Proof that this thing has red color signs built into it. Very minimal, very, very minimal. Much more minimal even so than the ZV-E1, which I sold, by the way. So my ZV-E1 is gone. I traded that in so that I could afford to buy this, because it just made sense. I'm keeping my A7C II, which is what I'm filming on right now, and that's because that's also my primary photography camera, and I don't really want to replace that. And I will probably use that as my main content creation camera, because it's more than capable enough to do everything that I need to do. And then this I'll be using for special projects, and obviously I'll be using it for content creation stuff as well, but for more commercial work and heavy duty stuff, because the R3D RAW is probably the format that I'm going to want to shoot in on this, and that's very power hungry, not power hungry, storage hungry, very storage hungry. It's very high bit rates, and storage and file sizes are going to be huge, so I'm going to need a lot more storage. I'm just going to have to purchase more storage options and solutions. So this is the screen, so let's just get that peel off. Oh, that was this is, look at that. This is a massive 4-inch DCI P3 display. I think I'm saying that right. This is very, very big compared to what I'm used to. You pretty much don't need a monitor for this. Now, one of the biggest kind of attractive features of this camera physically is this 4-inch display that it's got, which is huge, massive, very, very nice to use, and it's first of its kind on a camera like this. I mean, I think the Blackmagic cameras have large displays like this, but you know, this is a nice big articulating screen as well. One of the downsides is the ports on this is you've got obviously your audio jacks here, your mic and your headphone input, and then you've got your HDMI and USB-C jack, but the HDMI jack is a micro HDMI jack, which a lot of people are saying they're not very impressed about. They don't really like the idea of that being a micro HDMI port. Means that it's harder to rig out. Full-size HDMI is much more reliable, and serious filmmakers will not go for this, and yeah, that may be true. Personally, for me, it makes absolutely no difference, because the ZV-E1 as well as the A7C II both are using micro HDMI, and I'm bit surviving even using external monitors and things like that. It's fine. I've got the small rig cage ready. I've got a few goodies here ready to go to support my ZR. I've got the small rig cage here ready, which has the clamps on the sides. So of course this has a dedicated photo video toggle here, and this little dial, which is like a zoom dial. It doesn't actually zoom, but it's kind of like a zoom view, just to help you with focusing and things like that. And then it's got the 3 custom buttons at the top and a joystick, and menu button and a playback button, and that's it. You've got the power button on this side, which is very different to what I'm also used to. I'm used to having it here. You've got your 2 dials for aperture, shutter, ISO, whatever it is that you want to control with that, and another record button in the front, which is quite handy actually. I quite like that. But yeah, let's power this guy up. So another gripe with this camera was that it does have a dual SD card slot, or dual memory card slot, but one of them is a CF Express B, which you would expect from a camera like this with the high transfer speeds that you need to be able to film things like ProRes RAW, NRAW, and the Red RAW. But it's also got a micro SD slot, and they're both at the bottom where the battery drawer is. And that's a bit weird, because you know, you don't usually get cameras that are smaller than this, like older Sony cameras like the Sony A5100, things like that, would have the battery cover also be where the memory card is. So take this cap off. The battery it takes is the Nikon EL15C. I gotta get myself a couple more of these. I've got a bunch of Sony batteries, but not enough. Well, it's my only Nikon battery, so I'm definitely gonna need to get a few more of these. Let's just pop a card in here as well. So for the time being, I do have more cards coming. I do have some Angelbird cards coming, and I will be getting some 1TB ones. But for the time being, I picked up one of these Exascend Essential Pro. It's what's it called? VGB 400. These are basically the cinema grade ones, the high transfer speed. So it's a 256GB one, so it's not got the most storage in the world, but it will do for now. For some test footage and playing around with. I don't know when my other ones are coming, hopefully soon. And then I'll be able to actually go out and shoot something properly. It comes out like that. And we've got this here. So, yep, this is a very nice, fancy looking CF Express card. So let's pop this in as well. I don't know which way that goes. Oop. It did something. That means that's the right way around. Perfect. Pop that on. I don't know how much charge it has, so I'm going to actually just go charge it very quickly, and then I'll be back. Back after a little while after charging everything up, and now let's do the on test. Shall we move this stuff out of the way so that I've got a little bit more space? I'm going to pop some of these things back into the box. All right, that's a lot better. A lot more space now for me to lean and talk. And here we've got the fantastic new ZR, so let's turn that on. I have done a bit of setup already on this after it was charged, and it goes the other way. But, I'm just going to pop on the Nikon lens for now, and then I'll fiddle around with the, yeah, that's a bit weird, that's going to take getting used to. Then I'll fiddle around with the other lenses later. Take the cap off, take that out. Wow, that screen is, look at that. That is huge. I mean, I don't know if I can show you, but this is a on-screen example of how big this is compared to on my A7C II. I'll put up something. This is amazing, and it's fully touchscreen. That's really cool. Now I've done the initial setup, so I'll be able to do something with it, but I'm gonna have a proper play around with this. I'm very, very excited to put this to use. It is, so the 256GB is giving me 22 minutes and 24 seconds at 6K 24p. That's the only thing I kind of set up. I put it into video mode and I switched it to 6K. I'm very unfamiliar with Nikon. So this is my first ever Nikon camera, and I don't know anything about the menus. I don't know how anything works. I've never ever used a Nikon camera before, so I'm very, very unfamiliar. I am gonna go and watch all the setup videos, but I'm so excited about this thing because it's just, number one, it's a beauty. I kind of don't mind the light grip. This is quite nice. I mean, I'm gonna adapt some of my other lenses here that I've got. I'm gonna try and obviously see if my Samyang VAF lenses work with that, because that would be a fantastic pairing to have the Samyang VAF lenses work with the Nikon ZR, with the autofocus, with the R3D RAW, and I think we're going to get some amazing, very beautiful images from that, because the Samyang VAF lenses already produce really great images and have produced for me whilst using it with the ZVE1 and the A7C II, and I'm really excited to see how I can do and so what I can do with it, with the red RAW coming out of this sky. And I've ordered the 75mm of the VAF lenses as well. I've got the 35 and the 24. I'm filming on the 24 right now. I've got the 35 here. I'm very excited to see how the 75 will perform. I didn't get a 50, or there's a 45mm as well. I didn't get that because I've already got the Sigma 50mm f1.4, which is one of my favorite lenses. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic portrait lens. I've also got the Tamron 28-75 that I can use with it. So yeah, I've kept that quite short. I mean, I've got other things here. Let's just utilize this time a little bit. So I've got the CF Express B card reader. I'm not going to bother opening that up. I've also got the mount adapter from Viltrox, which I will give this a test as well to see how good that is later on. I don't really want to go into try and open that up now. And here's the smaller cage that I've got with the top handle. Probably don't know how much I'll use the top handle, to be honest, but So this will be very handy. This will probably add a little bit of nice grip. Yeah, that's got a good grip to it. So once I've fitted this on, this will be a nice little package that I can use. But yes, Nikon ZR right now with the 24-70 f4S kit lens, but I will be adapting my other Sony lenses to it and using it primarily with those because the kit lens is the kit lens. And yes, I probably will keep this with me just in case, like the adapter fails or something. It's good to have a native lens on you at all times. I was going to pick something up at some point, but I guess the kit lens will just have to do. And it's not bad. Kit lens is probably one of the best kit lenses out there right now, from my research has told me. But I am very, very excited to put this thing to full use. This 4-inch display looks absolutely amazing. This camera looks absolutely amazing. I've seen some of the work being put into or coming out of this guy, and it just looks so good. And I really want to push it to its limits and just get creating with it, film some stuff that I've been wanting to film and that, you know, I've been wanting to use this for. So yeah, very excited. Nikon ZR, my first ever Nikon camera, and it is from the Cine line, from the Z Cine line of, well, the red Cine line of cameras from Nikon with red color science. I'm just super excited. I don't know whether you can tell, but yes. I mean, yes, overall it's been a very raw kind of video, and I wanted to keep it that way just so that you guys could get my kind of genuine impression of this camera. Alright, I'm gonna get setting this up. I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm gonna have a plethora of videos coming out on this because I'm so super excited about using it. So you're gonna get to see a lot of the Nikon ZR on my channel. So do subscribe and follow along for that journey. And my journey of using a brand new camera system like this. I'm not completely switching over to Nikon. That's not what's happening here, because I can use all of my Sony gear with the Nikon ZR, and that's basically what I'm going to be doing. This is a single unit that I wanted as my primary camera for video work, for commercial video work, professional video work, content work, high-grade content work, that I want to use to push my skills, experience, and filmmaking knowledge and videography knowledge, and just learn more. Because I think the red workflow that I worked with when I used the Komodo X was interesting, it was new, it was exciting, and I'm very excited to learn more about working with red files and red codec and color space and all of that, and being able to film more with a camera that can produce that level of quality. 12-bit, yes, it's not a global shutter 16-bit sensor like the red Komodo, but it's a 12-bit sensor. It's the same thing that the Nikon Z6 III has, I think, something like that. And the Panasonic Lumix S1 II, which is the new one, also has the same 24 point something megapixel sensor, partially stacked sensor or something like that this thing has, which is a very, very good sensor. So it's not a brand new sensor. It's not like it's not a red sensor, but it's still got that red color science, and comparison videos that I've seen online have shown that it's got very similar quality to things like the red Raptor and Komodo X. So I'm pumped to see what this can produce. Hope this video has been entertaining in some way, watching me ramble about this camera and unbox it. So I will leave it here. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and if you did, please do hit that like button, hit subscribe to follow my journey, and comment down below what kind of videos you want to see coming from me about this camera, with this camera. What kind of stuff do you want me to shoot with it? Obviously I do a lot of urban street stuff, or, you know, spec ads and tech videos, anything along the lines of that. What do you want to see? Leave it down in the comments below. And so I will leave you with that. Until next time, this is Kai24 signing out.